When Nazis and commies gathering the fray, Mr. Dapperton comes out to play, crushing these cowards every day. Romantic enemy, bring them to their knees. This way of thinking is a disease. What's it gonna take to make them see? Undefendable liberty. Every time the enemy comes come around, Mr. Dapperton will be going down. Teeth in the ruffian AP, the supreme one of anarchy. Mr. Dapperton.
Hey guys, Slimber here, and today we're doing a video on Mr. Dapperton. I'm back with the face cam. Never mind this mess, I don't have a whole lot of space in here.
Nice room, bro. And I don't like your excuse that it's small. It's a small room. That's a normal sized room, it looks like. Clean your goddamn room. You titled this video, Opening a Letter from Mr. Dapperton. In parentheses, you put, it smells weird. Dude, I'm just saying, with a room like that, you probably have poor hygiene.
But anyways, we're back on a video on Mr. Dapperton. So if you guys have followed this channel for a minute, you probably know it's like the one creator that's ever actually responded to me.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're that weird hobo on the side of the street that just screams nonsense. Nobody pays attention to you because you're probably retarded or on drugs. Or both. Probably both.
Now he never responded anything politically because he knows he can't debate worth shit. So basically he just responded to some trivial shit I said about some troll that was fucking with him.
I've been on YouTube for like a decade, dude. I've debated like maybe 50 people, man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I debate people weekly. And I usually rock 100% like ratio or 99%. So yeah, I'd say I do pretty good. Also, some Antifa member decided to threaten me and my son, said he was going to behead us. And I told my audience that, and I showed video clips of the guy saying it. And that wasn't enough evidence because you just said it was me who did it. That was the point of your entire video. And I debunked that, proving that it was in fact somebody else. And you admitted it. Now you're saying that I can't debate people politically because I just made the video about that and I responded to mainly that and not the other bullshit where you just cosmetically attack my fucking character because you can't attack my arguments.
And anyways, he has a video that he put out about 6 months ago called Open Letter to the Online Left. I figure with me coming back, I should respond to this open letter. I don't know, I mean, I feel like it makes sense. Me of all people. You know, the biggest goddamn leftist retard on the planet. Let's get right into it, shall we?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Come on down. Come on down. Take a seat. Today, we're going to talk about how the left is absolutely destroying America. And if you're a leftist and you want to debunk this, feel free. Especially if you're the amazing atheist.
Yeah, especially if you're a much bigger YouTuber than me. Come on, man. Please, I need the views. Please help.
Bro, you just left me multiple messages just like 30 minutes ago begging me to respond to this video. What are you talking about?
I mean, Dapperton, I know you've done a lot of pathetic stuff, like, for example, cut people out of context when you're debating them because your followers will never go look at their content and you can lie about whatever they said.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. You know how you can tell? Because I do response videos where I sit there and I let them talk and then I respond to them directly afterwards. So yeah, I show the context. The context is 100% there. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But this is like super desperate. It comes off super desperate. Dapperton, go outside. Go to a bar. Go do something besides sitting in your mom's basement making low effort content.
Okay, for one, I have a job. For two, I'm a dad. For three, I've been living at the same apartment for 14 years. Point is, I have a life, and I don't live with my mom. And what's funny, man, is like I am like 90% sure you actually do live with your mom. And if I had to guess, she's getting absolutely tired of telling you to clean your room.
I mean, you can still make the low effort content, but you go do something with your life, Dapperton.
I help raise a kid. What do you do with your life? I mean, apparently you're very busy. You don't even have time to clean your room. In fact, this big giant banana that's on the table, that's for him. That's the very banana he stuck up his ass in the viral video.
Didn't that happen like fucking 12 or 13 years ago? Wasn't that like 2010, 2011? I mean, like, come on, Dapperton. Like, can you at least be a little more topical with the jokes? It maybe would be funny if, like, TJ Kirk or Amazing Atheist or whatever, like, still cared or even cared really in the first place when that got out. But even when it came out, he was just like, yep, it was me in the video. You expected less from me?
Dude, let me explain this to you. Okay. Just because somebody's proud of something doesn't mean it's something to be proud of.
So, like, I don't know. Maybe try to be funny.
And what's your joke? This video is called, that you're responding to, is called Open Letter to Leftists. And you're saying, opening Dapperton's letter, it smells weird. Is that supposed to be funny? Because it's not. Oh, it's a physical letter in my joke. And it's not really a physical letter. It's a video. Funny joke, buddy. Funny joke. Yeah, because you're the comedian, right? Because you're the funny one and I'm not.
Dapperton.
If Amazing Atheist doesn't respond, I'm going to have my butler destroy it. That's right. Amazing Atheist's boyfriend, King Banana, will be killed.
Boo. You're not funny. Stop trying to be funny because you're not, Dapperton.
Honestly, it was funnier than the joke that you just attempted right there. The crickets and the fucking boo, you suck. It's funnier than that. So Amazing Atheist better respond for his own sake, or the sake of the banana. And if you're a leftist watching and you're not responding to this, you're a pussy, and you better respond to this. Hello, boys and girls, and those who sexually identify as a vagina. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't arrest me. I meant bonus hole. All right, transgenders, don't call the cops on me.
You know, you can still make jokes about trans people and be funny. Dave Chappelle does it often. But you apparently can't.
Anyway, I don't know, poking fun at the whole bonus hole thing is pretty based. Did you know that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden are stone cold corrupt?
You mean the guy that I've criticized on my channel for being corrupt, or Amazing Atheist is also criticized for being corrupt, both of them? Yeah, we're all of us on the left are very well aware of that. In fact, channels that you've responded to are very well aware of that. And by responding to them, you should be aware that they are aware. So you're trying to grift here? What's the deal?
For one, you clearly don't know what grift even means. Secondly, this video is called Open Letter to Leftists, not fucking communist retards, okay? Just leftists in general. And leftists, guess what? They voted for this guy more than they voted for any other president in history. So yeah, this is relevant. What I'm saying is relevant. Just because you don't personally agree with it doesn't mean leftists don't do it, okay? You're a fucking dumbass. You're literally saying that leftists shouldn't be criticized for electing a corrupt politician because it wasn't you who did it. Like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't even make sense. This is addressing all leftists, like all types of leftists, not just you, bro. Not just communists like you. Maybe if you're more of a common leftist and not such an extreme leftist, this video would make more sense. But because you are so extreme, you're sitting here saying that my video doesn't make sense because it doesn't address you particularly, who is a communist. And you're going to see he does this a lot. Oh, that doesn't apply to me because I'm communist. Like, look, it's not my fault that you chose to reply to a video that has nothing to do with you. I mean, here's Trump saying it.
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked.
And he's right. Absolutely 120% right. In fact, it's a little interesting how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Oh my god, did you see that? Let me play that again, dude. That fucking animation. Like, what the fuck was that? That's fucking creepy, bro. Like, actually fucking creepy. I mean, it's still better than his, like, bad green screen, but, like, what the fuck was that?
okay, a long time ago, you made a video saying that I was Jussie Smollett and nobody threatened to behead my son and me, and and I just made it up, and I did it to myself. I'm actually the guy who did the voice, and I proved it to you that that wasn't true, and then you admitted that you were wrong. But as a justification for being wrong, you said I took out a lot of the video. But in fact, all the stuff I took out was just character assassination bullshit where you just went after like my cosmetics, like with the way my character looks on like in animation or how I talk or just things that had nothing to do with the crux of the video. Like him attacking my shirt or like my cosmetics or something completely not political. I cut all that bullshit out so the video is under 20 minutes long. And then he sits there and he says, like, I cut out the most of the video and that I'm taking him out of context. It's like, no, I'm not taking you out of context, idiot. That's not what context is. What I'm doing is I'm cutting out the fat. Okay, my audience wants to see me address my politics versus your politics. They don't want to hear us talk about fucking like animations and your room, for example. But I'm leaving all that shit in this time so you can't say I'm sitting there taking you out of context. But watch this video be an hour long. And my audiences ain't going to watch this because it's an hour long. They want to watch a 20-minute long video. They don't want to watch an hour-long fucking video of us talking about, like, rooms and fucking animations and stupid shit. Let's just stick to the politics, dude. That's what I would want to do, but you don't seem to want to do that.
Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Every single goddamn politician's corrupt. I don't care what they say. They use stolen money to fund stealing your rights and hoard themselves out to people who have money to give them. So the people that have money to purchase these politicians, they are the ones controlling things, not the politicians. But
Yep. Once again, 2 steps ahead of you, Dapperton. Those of us on the left are very, very, very well aware of corporate lobbying and super PAC.
Okay, so they're aware they elected a corrupt president. Like, what's your point? So they're guilty of making this happen? So because they're aware of it, it's okay that they do it? Like, what the fuck? Dude. You know that admitting that I'm right isn't the own you think it is. Also, just because you don't like Biden doesn't mean leftists don't like Biden. He was the most popular president of all time, according to the polls, right? If the election wasn't stolen, he was the most popular president of all time. And you're sitting here saying that like he wasn't voted for because you don't like him. Like, shut the fuck up. Leftists voted for him, and if you ask a random person on the street, they're going to choose Biden over Trump. So, like, don't tell me that they didn't elect him. Okay, they elected him, and they're the ones that are creating the corruption because they elected a corrupt president. Just because you, a communist, doesn't like that fact doesn't mean it didn't happen and that leftists their hands are scrubbed clean of this atrocity. But mega corporations that wouldn't exist otherwise if it wasn't for big government giving them special treatment and bailing them out and helping them in every turn. Even granting them monopolies and using the government's guns to force competition out.
I still think it is absolutely crazy that he is an anarcho-capitalist and he is bitching about monopolies.
Oh my god, dude. Monopolies are a product of corporatism, not capitalism. Capitalism is free market. It's the ability to have voluntary transactions. Capitalism didn't cause monopolies. What causes monopolies is government. Government forcing out competition through the barrel of a gun. They get lobbied, they take donations from big companies, and then they do those companies favors by creating law for them, forcing competition out with guns.
Here's the deal, right? Yes, monopolies are a problem because the federal government allows them to exist by not enforcing antitrust laws. But you don't think they wouldn't exist under anarcho-capitalism? They would just exist naturally. They would buy out competition. oh, well, anybody could start up a business and anybody can instantly fail because their major competitor can instantly destroy them or outbuy them.
Monopolies suck, and the reason why monopolies suck is because they raise prices. People could price gouge. Now, let's just say somebody like owns a copyrighted medicine, right? And they could sit there and they could charge any price for that medicine because the government enforces that copyright. Copyrights are not an anarcho-capitalist thing, are not a capitalist thing. That's a government corporatism thing. Now, because this medicine's copyrighted, the guy, instead of charging $3 a pill, he could charge, like $500 a pill, right? And there's nothing you could do about it. You either pay that price or you die, right? Because you need that medication to live. Okay, that's what monopolies do. And monopolies could only happen if that copyright exists, right? If you take away that copyright, what happens? Someone can enter the market and charge $3 a pill, roughly a little bit over what it costs to manufacture. So they make just a little bit of profit. So they do that, and what happens? Oh, it looks like they're going to have to charge less. The big company that's charging $500 a pill, they're going to have to charge less, or they're going to go out of business, right? That's the only way they can stay competitive. Or they got to charge, like just under $3 a pill to stay relevant. And if they don't, they'll go out of business. They can't keep charging $500 a pill because nobody will buy it, right? You may say, oh, well, they could just buy the company. Well, then another company will spring up, and another company will spring up, and another company will spring up just to be bought. And then eventually, they're going to have to change their prices or they're going to go out of business. This is precisely why, under anarcho-capitalism or capitalism in general, monopolies cannot exist. That is a government thing. That is a corporatism thing. That is a fucking socialist fucking thing. That's a leftist thing. That's not a... Right-wingers don't make that shit happen with their capitalism, okay? That's what happens when companies lobby government to force out competition. Who's the key corruptor or the key component here that's corrupting everything? It's the government. The government is selling your rights for money. That's the problem. Every politician's a whore. I don't give a shit what they say.
Produces corrupt results when there you are.
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though.
Yeah, I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talk about it. But what happened was they said, come back when you're 40, son.
So make no mistake, Joe Biden is corrupt. He even admits it. Even when he was young right there, he was corrupt. He even said that he wanted to whore himself out and give the mega corporations exactly what they wanted. Give them monopolies and let them trample the little guy. But he was too young. They said, come back when you're 40, son. Well, he's been over 40 for a long time. So he's been corrupt as shit for a very long time. Forever.
Maybe you should change this video to open letter to shitlib Karen wine moms instead of open letter to leftists, because we are very well aware that Joe Biden is corrupt. We didn't support Joe Biden. Most of us supported Bernie Sanders.
Then why was Biden elected and not Bernie Sanders? You're a dumbass.
A lot of us didn't vote. And you should be well aware of this because a lot of the content you've responded to are people that also oppose Joe Biden, like Amazing Atheist. I believe you responded to Step Back History. You've responded to me. And it's not like you can't see the video titles, too, that also heavily criticize Joe Biden.
I respond to all sorts of leftists, not just fucking communist retards like yourself and Vosh and fucking Amazing Atheists. It's not just you guys. I respond to all sorts of leftists, even the regular ones that this video is addressing.
And so I had to go out. So I had to go to a number of small contributors.
Did you hear that? He had to go to small contributors. So even back then, when he wasn't old enough to whore himself out, he still did.
You know, this is a little off topic, but I do think it's funny that when he cuts people out of context when he makes video responses to them, like myself, who's the other guy he did it to? I can't remember his name, but he mostly does it to smaller creators. When he cuts people out of context, it's funny because his excuse always is, I'm shortening the fat of the video. I'm taking the useless parts out. the non-important parts. Well, you have now made the same point several times, at least 3 or 4 times, that leftists already know. But even with the leftists already know, you've now made the point way too many goddamn times. But somehow that's not considered non-important to you. That's not considered fat in the video. Because I think it's interesting. Like I said, it kind of shows that, yeah, you are purposely cutting people out for context, and what you're saying is a lie. And I just want to add real quick, he's not taking Joe Biden out of context, though. Joe Biden is a corrupt piece of shit.
Okay, the first, like, maybe 5 minutes of the video, yes, I'm explaining that Joe Biden is corrupt to those who do not know, because a lot of people voted for him. I'm talking the most voted president in history, right? Yeah, a lot of people don't know he's corrupt, so this is news to them. Okay, it may not be news to you, communists, but it's news to a lot of people. So that's why it's in the video. It doesn't mean I take people out of context or whatever you're trying to say. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's funny that you can't even give a fucking example, idiot.
Look, folks, you all heard the question. Special interest groups in Washington and lobbyists bother him. Lobbyists aren't bad people.
They are.
Special interest groups are not bad people.
They are.
But guess what? They're corrosive. People who accept the money from them aren't bad people.
They most definitely are.
But it's human nature. You go out, Lynn, and bundle $250,000 for me, all legal, and then you call me after I'm elected and say, Joe, I'd like to come and talk to you about something. You didn't buy me, but it's human nature. You helped me. I'm going to say, sure, Lynn, come on in.
If somebody gives you money to do something political for them, yeah, they've bought you. Just like if I go to McDonald's right now, you know, I've basically bought the person who's making my food's labor. Just like they've bought your labor. They've just stolen it from taxpayers. Dapperton,
Whoa. Did you just compare an involuntary transaction with a voluntary transaction? And you think you're making some sort of point? You're a fucking idiot, bro. Jesus Christ, it doesn't even make sense.
I have now made a stronger argument against Joe Biden than you have in this entire video.
No, you just proved that you don't know the difference between voluntary transactions and forced ones, aka capitalism versus government. Government is forced transactions where they need thugs to force their way of life onto other people using force and violence and guns. Okay, capitalism doesn't need that. Capitalism is just voluntary transactions. It's just a transaction between two civilians. And you somehow conflated these two things and made them, like, in your head the same. Like, how can you confuse these two things and think it's a good point? Like, I don't understand I don't understand you. I don't understand how somebody could be this fucking stupid. How are we even the same species, bro? This is why I say communism is a mental illness. So one of my first points, obviously, is that they elected a corrupt politician. All right, that's my point against the leftists. They elected a corrupt politician who's destroying the country. And this guy's point is, oh, well, we knew he was corrupt the whole time. Like, that's a defense. Like, that's a good comeback. Like, that somehow defeats me. This guy is fucking not very bright. Because all he's doing is proving my point. Okay, that whole segment is absolutely, utterly insane. If that doesn't convince you that he's a corrupt piece of shit, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think anything will convince you.
But guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yes, that's him, officer. Okay, I just want you to know the Democratic Party knows that smart voters will never, ever vote for him. So that's why they got to get Gen Z voters to vote for them, which the Democratic Party has admitted in the past. I got footage of Kamala Harris saying this, that Gen Z voters are stupid, and this is obviously the reason why they want these voters to vote for him, because they know smart voters will never vote for him.
Well, I agree, smart voters don't love Joe Biden. They also don't love Trump, because if you love either of them, you're a fucking retard.
Dude, The majority of voting leftists did vote for Biden. They, in fact, elected him. He was the most popular president in history. Okay, he was the most voted for president of all time. Okay, so you're admitting right now that leftists are retards. And that's why it's called the open letter to the left, to tell them that they're retards. And you're sitting here admitting it and acting like you're defeating me somehow. I don't understand you.
Here's the deal. Democrats are going to get the Gen Z votes because they try to address issues that face Gen Z. Republicans do not give a single fuck about addressing issues that face Gen Z. In fact, they're more focused on issues that face the boomers, which is kind of a bad strategy because that generation is starting to die out. They're at the, they might be a little bit past the beginning stages, but they're kind of towards the end of that generation. I mean, they're still the silent gen before them. So, you know, they're still, some of them are still kicking. So the boomers still got a minute, but they're slowly dying out. Gen Z is now just getting to vote. If Republicans focused on issues that face Gen Z from a right-wing perspective, maybe, just maybe, they get their vote. And I know Vivek Ramaswamy was kind of trying to an extent. I mean, as much as you really can for being on the right.
Voting is a fancy way of controlling other people's lives. Man, just rule yourself, right? Just worry about your own affairs. You don't need to worry about other people's fucking what they do, like whether they own guns or have abortions. Who gives a fuck about all those issues? Let people do what they're going to do. As long as they're not harming anybody else, it should be fine. For example, with guns, they try to make law-abiding citizens not be able to own them. Like, how does that affect criminals? Criminals will still get them off the black market. All laws are is writing on a piece of paper with a fancy pen and saying something. It doesn't make people obey it more. For example, like, laws only affect law-abiding citizens. It doesn't affect criminals because criminals don't obey laws. That's why they're criminals, right? That's precisely why we need guns, to protect ourselves. Why? Because laws don't protect us. Guns do. So they got to fool Gen Z into voting for them. That's why they try to get Gen Z influencers on the payroll to influence those Gen Z future votes.
So what about when, like, Vivek Ramaswamy, for example, goes on Jake Paul's TikTok to get their votes? What about, like, when, I don't know, Trump brings out Lil Pump to get their votes? Is that somehow that's different?
Okay, there is a difference because Kamala Harris called Gen Z voters fucking stupid. Literally called them stupid. And then said that they don't make good decisions and then basically begs for their vote. That is fucking sad because they're trying to use them, right? When right-wingers get influencers, they don't think they're stupid. They think they're bright and agree with them and want to help them succeed. That's different than thinking they're stupid and using them like fucking votes.
Even the most wrong people in the world can occasionally get it right.
What the Republican Party doesn't understand about Gen Z is we don't like you. You claim you want to appeal to Gen Z, but you call us stupid.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Also, technically speaking, she was talking about millennials because this quote is from 2014. In 2014, the only person this would have applied to in Gen Z were the oldest of Gen Z, born in 1996, and they were 18. Everybody else above was a millennial. Millennials are pretty stupid. They produced Mr. Dapperton. Maybe he's Gen X, but I'm pretty sure he's just a millennial, like early millennial that didn't age very well.
But at heart, I'm a boomer, bitch.
Also, Dapperton, the left is very aware that Kamala is complete dog shit. Who do you think
elected her? Oh, the left.
Is the one that has been the most vocal about her record as a district attorney?
Yeah, I know the answer to this. Right-wingers.
Who do you think has been the most vocal about her being unlikable?
Again, right-wingers.
Why do you think she lost in the Democratic primaries so easily?
Well, she did get elected. She serves right by fucking Biden, doesn't she?
You keep conflating liberals to leftists, and I know you know better because a bunch of people you've responded to, as I've said before, hate Biden and Kamala, and I know you've seen those videos from myself, from them.
I don't think about you, bro. Also, what'd you say? Repeat that?
From them.
What are you saying? Look, leftists are liberals. Liberals are part of leftists. And even communists like Vosh say to vote for Biden. You're the only communist that's anarcho-communist that I've responded to that doesn't like Biden.
Myself, from them. The only person that's like a Biden ass kisser, and he really isn't, is Vosh.
He's a Biden ass kisser. Most leftists are.
And he still is like, yeah, I don't like them, but vote for them anyways. So yeah, most of the people you know.
That is why we put them in dormitories. And they have a resident assistant.
And if they think they can give the middle finger to our generation and get away with it, they're sorely mistaken.
They make really bad decisions.
What a bitch. And what's really interesting about these Gen Z influencers is these two, the ones that were shown in the video and the ones that we'll be discussing for a little bit, they joined Twitter when they were really young. This particular one joined Twitter when he was 8 years old. A little suspicious. And he didn't make his first post for 4 years.
Dapperton, we on the left are very well aware of people on the DNC payroll. We called out people like Brooklyn Dad before you even caught wind of this.
Okay, so this entire video so far, I have said the leftists are stupid. Here are the reasons why, and you've just agreed, and that's debunking my video somehow. I don't get it. Did his parents make the account for him? What the fuck is going on? I can't even explain this. But I know that that is some shady shit. Now, these two swear to God that they're not paid shills by the Democratic National Committee, or the DNC, but they are. They absolutely are. They even have the same email address, going to Pallet. Pallet is owned by the DNC, and they paid at least one of them $200,000 in the last 8 months. So how is that being paid nothing? How's that them not being paid shills? Give me a goddamn break. $200,000 is a lot of money. They basically fund your whole campaign. And the other one got paid too. $10,000, I believe, but he's getting paid more now. Don't believe me? Here's the proof. Eat it and shut it. The Democratic Party and the government are in bed with the mainstream media, especially Gen Z memers. They're in the meme war. And
Dapperton, I thought this was supposed to be an open letter to the left. Because this letter doesn't seem like it's well addressed to the left. It seems like it's more aimed at shit libs and wine moms.
It addresses most leftists. In fact, it even addresses Vosh, who is communist, like you. But you're a communist that doesn't like Biden. You don't like these DNC shills and all that. Most do. Most like them. Most support them. Just because you're different doesn't mean that this letter is wrong. This is addressing leftists, not fucking commie retards that are different than Vosh. This covers 98% of the fucking leftists, not the 2% that you are.
Maybe you should go on like their Twitter and go talk to them.
Okay, you begged me to fucking review this video and to address this video that you made on me. And it doesn't do anything other than agree with me. It's so fucking annoying what you're doing right now. Yes, I say that they're corrupt and you agree with me. That's not destroying my point. That it's actually enforcing my point. You are helping my case, if anything. Just because you answer a letter that isn't addressed to you doesn't make the letter wrong. Okay? It's right to those who it's addressed to, which is most leftists. You may not be like most leftists, but doesn't mean the letter's wrong.
Maybe go find some Amy Klobuchar supporters, the two that exist. Go maybe tell them all this, because we, once again, as I've mentioned a million times, every point you've made, we are well aware and we oppose.
Oh, so all leftists opposed Biden, but they elected him with the biggest votes in history. They elected him more than they've ever elected any other president with votes in the history of the United States of America. But nobody voted for him, right? But nobody voted for him. But they voted for him more than anybody else in history. Okay, whatever. No, if leftists hate him, they wouldn't have voted for him with the most staggering numbers in U.S. recorded history.
People have called this out several times. And you should know this. You're kind of dumb, so you might not know this. But you should know this because, once again, many of the people you've responded to have, and they have giant videos that I know you've seen at least the titles to. And trust me, I know you only respond to video titles. Look at the whole Step Back History thing.
What they're trying to do is trying to brainwash the youth into believing shit that's not true, while simultaneously believing that the Gen Z people that they're trying to influence are stupid as fuck. It's insulting that these Gen Z influencers and these Gen Z people, like these Gen Z young voters, are actually falling for this bullshit. These people are not in your best interest. They don't give a shit about you. They think you're stupid. All they want from you is your fucking money. And not just that, to steal your rights so big businesses and monopolies can control you. Just so they can get paid by the big monopolies. They want to influence you to pay more taxes and to let them continue printing money and spending it, and which is creating the inflation that we have today from the Federal Reserve. And to continue borrowing, which has put us over $45 trillion in debt.
You don't think Republicans have contributed to that giant debt ceiling we have right now?
No, I know they have. And that's the reason why I'm not a Republican. I'm a libertarian, or more accurately, an ANCAP.
I mean, I know Democrats like this too. But the giant military budget that they love, you don't think that has anything to do with it? Or the tax breaks?
Nobody should be taxed.
Or for the wealthy, you know. They might be here for us for a minute, but they only really last for the wealthy.
Not even the wealthy should be taxed.
Or the fucking border walls. I mean, you don't think the Republicans don't contribute to that debt ceiling?
Republicans are part of the issue too, but not nearly as bad as leftists.
Leftists are absolutely ruining this fucking country. And they do it by brainwashing the youth. Remember, boys and girls, Democrats, they're pro-good things and anti-bad things. And if you don't vote for them, you're a racist and a sexist and homophobic and all these bad things that Republicans are not, and conservatives are not, and libertarians are not, and ANCAPs are not.
Whoa. Most libertarians, I would argue, are not racist.
Okay, literally what I just said.
There's probably less racist libertarians than there are racist Republicans. Maybe more pedophiles, but nonetheless.
Says the guy who supports Vosh, who is a known pedophile, who also has pedophile stances.
A lot of libertarians are actually pretty based on everything except economic opinions. In fact, Dapperton, I think socially, me and you can mostly agree on a lot of things. But where you getting at, dude? Like, you're just screaming at the sky at this point. You're conflating left with Democrats. Yes, the people that said Bernie or bust, they're Democrats, right?
Okay, I can't believe I have to explain this, but leftist is an umbrella term. It describes most leftists, like 98%. Like I said, you're like that 2%, so it doesn't apply to you. But it talks about most liberals, Democrats, and even commies, like Vosh. But not you. You're a little bit different, but like I said, it doesn't apply to you, I guess. But that doesn't mean it doesn't apply to nobody. It applies to most on the left.
The people that Democrats blame for losing in 2016, they're Democrats, right? Back to Everton, I'd argue there's some issues with the Democratic Party. They lean more your way than they do mine. Because here's the deal, Dapperton. I support universal health care. I support state subsidized higher education. I support universal child care. Support all these things, right? You know what the Democratic Party doesn't support? Universal health care, universal child care, state subsidized higher education. They don't support basically any sort of social safety net, and neither do you. And actually, I saw a couple pro-Israel videos on your channel.
I don't have any pro-Israel videos on my channel. I don't even have a stance on Israel. I don't give a fuck about Israel.
So, guess who agrees with the Democratic Party on that? You. Guess who doesn't? Me, TJ Kirk, a bunch of other leftist YouTubers, Kyle Kalinske, I think even Vosh disagrees with them on that. Even Vosh disagrees with them on that.
You're not even making a point because I don't have a stance on the issue at all. So
you're more of a Democrat than us?
So your point is nobody's a leftist? All the people that voted for Joe Biden, they don't exist?
They just try to make the other side look bad because they don't have an argument. They lose every debate. So they got to make you look like a bad person and win the conversation that way because they can't win a debate with you.
That's literally what you do. You literally, in your videos in response to people, you cut them out of context to make it look like they were like defaming you or something. You cut them out of context. You did it to me. You did it to Emperor Zerakar. I'm sure we're not the only ones.
No, I didn't. In fact, my video on Emperor Zerakar debunks that. So go watch my video on Emperor Zerakar if you don't believe me.
In the Step Back History video, you cut a lot of context out of, but yeah, actually, that's a perfect example.
How do I cut out context when I respond to your video directly? Like, almost every comment. And my audience more cares about the political stuff, right? So that's the stuff that I mainly address. I don't address like you attacking my shirt or attacking my animation, but I'm leaving all that stuff in this time, and I'm starting to leave it in now, so people aren't like, oh, he took out half my video. Yeah, I took out half your video because half your video is just a character assassination that has nothing to do with the point of the video. It's you attacking my cosmetics, like my animations or the way my character looks, or how I actually look, or that my Dapperton jacket's too big, and then like I cut all that stuff out, then like there's like 10 minutes missing, and then they're like, oh, you cut out half the fucking video. Yeah, dude, because you're a fucking idiot. Try to do less ad homs and stick to the point at hand. Like when you sit there and you compare me to Jussie Smollett, said I and threatened my own child and threatened myself. You know, I addressed that, not the other points, because that was the main issue. All your other blatant character assassinations I skipped because they're not relevant to the point of your video, which was the Jussie Smollett thing. You know what happens when I leave in everything? The video ends up being almost an hour long, almost like 50 minutes long. Like this video is probably going to be close to 50 minutes long or above, because I am leaving in all the ad homs and bullshit and the air that you breathe and like everything. So you can't say I'm taking out context. But the truth of the matter is most people don't have time for videos this long. Okay, they like a 20-minute long video. So I do cut out the bullshit that's not addressing the point of the video, which is the politics. You know, you making fun of my animation isn't the Shakespeare you think it is.
Of what of this. You literally do this. You are a hypocrite, dog.
Please, don't call me dog.
I know he's like kind of like retarded.
Dude, all you've done this entire video was agree with me. You think that's trumping me. You're a fucking retard for reals. An actual retard.
But how does he manage to lack so much self-awareness?
Ditto.
If they could make it look like you're racist, they don't have to win the conversation.
And if you can make it look like somebody's trying to dox you or help someone troll and dox you, you don't have to win the conversation. It's you.
What are you talking about? I've actually been doxed.
It's literally you. If you're trying to make it look like somebody who made a joke about ANCAPs is trying to defame you as a pedophile and get your kid taken away from you.
He showed a picture of my face and tried to say I was a pedophile. And I just said that's not really cool to include my face personally because I'm not a pedophile. I'm actually a father. I don't like being called a pedophile when I'm not. And Emperor Zerikar tried to say that was me just pretending to be a victim. No, I was actually a victim being called a pedophile when I wasn't in a viral meme. Where people today, to this very day, think that fucking meme is true. And when you actually have a kid, that's not particularly a good look to have. So I complained, and that apparently, according to Zerikar, made me a bad father. You people are fucking ridiculous.
You've two things that you have done. Honestly, at this point, we want to talk about trimming fat in a video. This video is 27 minutes long. We are at least 20-something minutes into this video alone, let alone his actual video that's, once again, 27 minutes long. I'm going to end the video here, and hopefully I'll have more out soon. Again. And yeah. Limber out.
Okay, so I responded to your entire fucking video, right? And you only responded to half my video. Now you see why I cut out the fat, you fucking retard. You cut out the fat, and my video here ended up being like 45 minutes long still. Okay, you addressed half my video, and my response video ended up being nearly an hour long. This is why I cut out the fat. It's not to censor you. It's not to, take you out of context, because that's not what that is. I address the important shit that's political, not you going after my animation like you've done throughout this video, or just address stupid shit that has nothing to do with the politics like you have done throughout this entire fucking video. That is why I cut out the fat, is to keep it from being this fucking long. Again, if I responded to your full video on my video, this video would have been 2 hours fucking long. 2 hours! That is why I cut out the fat. So my videos don't end up being 2 fucking hours. Oh my god, you're such a fucking idiot. You didn't make a single point. This entire video, you have done nothing but agree with me. And you think that's trumping me. You are stupid, and you call me a retard? Oh my god, dude, this is fucking outrageous. I hope people see how fucking stupid you are, Slimber. Because you are stupid. Thank you for watching. If you really like this video, be sure to subscribe. Also, smash that like button and the bell button. If you really, really want to support the channel, then become a patron on Patreon. Even if you just donate $1 a month, it helps tremendously. Thanks for watching.